All right. Hello, everyone. Hello, Jeremy. Nice to have you back with us. We have a new cast member joining us today.
A guest.
Hello.
Guest. We're all family here.
Have
It's
you
if you come on,
We don't introduce ourselves now.
we did in like the first one,
We
but
did?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we've like never.
That may have been like the seventh hell.
That is true, which nobody listened to. Not even Jeremy listened to that.
Jeremy was like, no.
So I guess we should introduce ourselves. Hello,
No.
my name is Ryan.
Not doing it again.
That's Stephanie, who's not doing it
Stephanie
again.
right there.
My name is Megan.
And I am Rachel.
All right. And it only took us 7 episodes to do an introduction.
It took like 3 to be like, we're cousins.
That is true.
I'm cousin by friendship.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
a good friend.
All right. Well, this week, I'm excited. We're doing Revolver, my favorite Beatles album.
Oh,
A lot of people's favorite.
okay.
It's
Really
like,
good one.
it's overtaken Sgt. Pepper these days as their
Really?
most acclaimed album.
Was
I
this
didn't
the
know
90s?
that. I really didn't know that.
Is this the 90s? I'm just
Basically,
I mean-
yes.
90s they came back around in more ways than you can imagine. But yeah, we're getting into the good stuff. The good stuff. The good stuff.
We are.
Yeah.
So let's not keep them waiting. Let's go right into it. Let's kick it off with track number 1, Taxman. All right, Taxman. Again, we've already established the Beatles always kick it off with a good one.
This is another one of those.
Keeps up with it. First time they've kicked off with a George song.
That is special.
That's
it's
a
very
first.
special. I mean, to be fair, obviously his best work to date.
Oh
on
yeah,
this
no
right
question.
here, because
yeah, this very unique song.
Mhm.
even though was it Paul on the guitar solo?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Rocking it out.
It kind of went off a little bit.
Which George was. I think he'd done like all the guitar solos up to this point. That's
Mhm.
probably the most unique guitar solo to this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it shows that they were really starting to actually collaborate in the studio.
And be very confident
Mm-hmm,
Mhm.
in their songs
Mm-hmm.
or what they could write about or whatever.
Right.
What I think the Batman TV show came out.
1966.
So, like, you think it around this time?
And this came out what month?
This is like November
Ah.
or October
Because
66.
to me, it seems like they're like kind of like warping in like popular culture and like maybe playing on.
They were done
Batman
touring,
theme?
right, by the time this came out.
No.
Okay, so it was probably like summer.
But they were like, we don't care if we can play these songs live
Because
we're probably going to quit touring.
Yeah.
And that really shows, I think, that'd be pretty tough to pull that song. I mean,
yeah, if your bass player plays the guitar solo,
right.
it's not happening live. It's just not gonna happen because he's busy.
I have to say, though, as I've grown older and pay more attention to politics, it does. The concept of the song, a wealthy person complaining about taxation, is kind of.
To be fair, England had really high tax rate at
Yeah,
this point
but-
in time. Like they were taxed like 80% of their.
Okay. And the Beatles were still ridiculously loaded, though.
Yeah.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, like they earned $1 million.
I mean,
if it was taxed at 80%, they get what, $200,000 between them.
80%?
They were
That's
really taxed
insanity.
back then. And where did it go?
To
The
row.
royal family.
The Queen.
You know, a
That
lot
is
of it.
true. I
went
mean,
to
it
that.
is different because it's a different society
I can
than ours.
understand George's frustration with growing up super poor and then
A guest. How does she do that?
I guess the door's just not all the way shut. Yeah, my mom's horrible dog has wandered in.
can't call it off.
Mocha.
Yeah.
You're going to get canceled for that.
Yeah,
But
well,
anyway,
luckily
so-
no one listens to this.
That's true. Jeremy, she's a great dog.
Jeremy, I like dogs. You don't understand this dog, though. If you knew her,
She's cute. I like Mocha.
Yeah.
But anyway, so there was a really high tax rate, and I can understand like growing up poor, right? Really poor, like George did, and being like
Well, the
making
majority
money.
are probably single mothers too. A lot of single mothers being taxed like that.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
they had they just, it's like if you're England's biggest export and like you boost the economy to such an extent, like England's economy shot through the roof after the Beatles, and like they're like, this is our biggest export ever, and you're not making diddly squat because it's all going back to the government. You're like, I'm being used.
right.
My creative input is being taken advantage of.
Right.
Well, let me write
I
an
guess,
op-ed.
like, I agree with Ryan that this is a little, like,
Oh.
okay. But also, it's like, he does talk about, like, you get taxed for dying. You get taxed for all these things.
I mean, taxes are a little ridiculous. In nowadays society, it's like we relate to tax man because we pay a lot of taxes and they don't. You
That
know,
is true.
Right.
Right. I mean, yeah, I guess I can understand his, like, kind of sentiment of, like, just being alive, you have to pay to be alive.
Yeah.
It's a little frustrating.
It's like that classic tweet. Why is being alive so expensive? I'm not even having a good time.
Yeah.
it's true. It's true.
But not everyone gets to be George Harrison. He was probably having an okay time.
He's probably having a pretty good time.
Probably, especially at this point.
But
So-
the song is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great way to kick it off. Kick it off with a George song. That's different. That's new. So let's move on. Track 2 is an all-time classic. It's Eleanor Rigby.
Yay! I know that.
Right, Eleanor Rigby. Probably one of the most famous Beatles
Oh.
songs.
Oh,
Definitely.
for sure.
Definitely. Which is weird because it's strange.
Yeah,
But
it's
it's
very different from anything else they've done up to this point.
Yeah.
and really a lot different from anything they do
Yeah.
afterwards.
No,
I mean,
it's very unique within their catalog.
it's extremely, and it's, I think what makes it really more unique is how popular it is.
Yeah,
It's such a
'Cause, like,
depressing
It's a
song.
very depressing song.
Yeah.
I liked.
It's
It was just some press conference they were doing, and
Mm.
that guy asked him like, "You experimented with some new instrumentation on songs like Eleanor Rigby," and then John says, "Not really. Violins are very old."
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like the first. It's not the first time they used just violins. I
The
mean, like
song-
yesterday,
Yeah, that's true.
but there's no guitar on it.
Right. But yeah, I mean it's the beginning of Baroque pop, would it not be? I don't know.
That's
Probably.
It could no, I wouldn't say it's the beginning.
Did this come out
Could be.
before The Left Bank?
I'm not sure.
no.
I really don't know. I mean, it could just be all in the same vein or whatever. I really don't know. But
If it didn't create it, it definitely popularized it.
right, there's definitely more Baroque pop after this song.
And it's such a. I mean, for Paul as a lyricist, it is also such a step in a weird direction. You know, where he's just
Plus, no Baroque pop goes as Baroque as this song that I've heard, where it's like straight up a chamber
Yeah.
in a
playing,
voice.
You know.
I love the story about
Vivaldi-esque
when they
stuff.
filmed or they recorded the strings or whatever, and all the people were really upset with George Martin because he got the microphone like right up close, like an inch away from their instrument, and they were just like, "I don't like it." And he was like, "I don't care. Play it really hard. You know, I want to hear it go dun dun dun." You know, and it worked really well.
I remember when you were little, Ryan,
Hmm.
you wouldn't let us listen to this song after dark.
Yeah, this song creeped me out.
Yeah.
You were terrified.
'Cause I didn't know what face in a jar meant. I thought Eleanor Rigby was on some Hannibal Lecter stuff. You know?
Yeah.
It creeped me out.
I saw someone on the Beatles subreddit like a couple weeks ago just be like, I just listened to this song and now I'm having an existential crisis. And like, what? This is real because there's so many people who are lonely and I can't stop thinking about it. Like,
Yeah, right.
How horrible.
Right. I mean, it is. It's a nice, there's a sad but it's an anthem for people who just are lonely, who don't have anyone.
Yeah.
They just live alone.
Yeah.
And we see them everywhere. And you have to think, like, everyone sees them everywhere. How often do we think about it, you know? And when you do, it's so sad.
Yeah.
Then even
No
when
one
you
wants
do
to
think,
be
No.
where do they all belong?
Exactly.
You know, where do they come?
Right.
We don't know.
Right. A lot
Maybe
of
we'll
songs
never
like to
know.
pretend like they don't exist. But this one acknowledges that fact.
Very smart, and it's a song that we need as a culture.
Mm-hmm.
It's like we've said before, though. Like, this is another one that's just timeless.
Oh, yeah.
It could have been written today.
I think this is one of the first Beatles songs I actually heard growing up.
Really?
Yeah. I didn't really
Yeah, that's
think
probably-
I grew up in a kind of sheltered household,
Yeah.
but my first, I think that was one of them. Eleanor Rigby.
It's probably true for a lot of people. Like, it's one of their, you know, like, if you ask people who, like, don't do the Beatles at all, they've definitely heard this song.
Which is weird. Where are they hearing it? I don't ever
I
hear
heard it
it.
in the dentist's office.
That's true. We did hear it in the dentist's office.
The waiting room.
That's probably
Which
where
was-
I heard
it
it,
was-
someplace like that.
it
It's
was-
just subconscious. You hear it and then you just
It
doesn't
was
ever leave your
eerie
brain.
in the dentist's office. Because it was like a bunch of old people in the dentist's office.
Oh,
And it was like
that's weird and creepy a little bit.
Yeah.
all these poor
All these
old people.
lonely people.
And I was like, oh boy, I can't handle this.
Poor, unfortunate souls.
Whew.
All right. Well, let's keep the line moving. Up next
Thank you.
is maybe a little early for it, but maybe the best song on the album, I'm Only Sleeping.
Mm.
All right. I'm Only Sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
What a good one.
Yes, yes.
I remember, you know, I listened to this album all the time growing up. Like I said, it's my favorite Beatles album.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been listening to the Beatles since I was like 6 years old, you know.
Yeah.
And I just remember one day in high school, I was really, really stoned. And that song came on.
What?
And it was the first time that I realized, like, oh, that song's about laying in bed depressed all day. It's about that thing that you like to do.
Yeah. This is
Relatable.
This is my theme song for a reason.
Oh, it definitely.
This might be my new sad song then. I think I'm
Yeah.
gonna make it my.
But it's
happy.
You know what I'm saying?
enjoying
Like,
it.
right. Like
Well, yeah, no, that's what it captures that where,
you can be sad and it's okay.
yeah, you're like depressed, and the only thing you like doing is just laying in bed
right. But it's not pitiful. in
and
the
drifting
song.
in and out of sleep, you
It
know.
shows
Self-care.
that that's not such a bad thing sometimes.
It can be
Yeah.
kind of cool and
It
sound
is
really
self-care.
nice.
In this song,
So
and in
were the
real life-
Beatles one of the first for promoting self?
Yes.
Oh yeah, John
health
Lennon's
and like
definitely
mental.
yeah.
John Lennon, especially at this point in his life, was
John
all
Lennon
about
really got
mental
you.
health.
Yes. I'd say, you know, especially later on when he met Yoko.
I was about
and
to
he
say, is it the
definitely
Yoko
was-
years? Is he with Yoko on this one?
No,
or no? Okay.
not yet.
Okay.
But definitely later on when he's with Yoko, he was definitely like an advocate for therapy and
Mhm.
self-care or whatever, even though he didn't really know what he
Right.
was doing.
Stopping your violent.
I mean, they
ways,
went,
not
and
your
not even
emotional-
long after this, they did the meditation,
Yeah.
they took up yoga, la 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 da da, made it very famous,
Right.
you know.
Well, this is when they first got into LSD, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, I guess yeah.
It sure is.
So.
Well, exit.
Ryan just took a second.
Yeah, we had to take a second.
Yeah, but
But-
I love this song.
It is a very, very good song. I love the yawn.
Yeah, there's a yawn.
There's a
in the middle
yawn
of
in
it.
there.
Oh, I missed it.
It's so funny. You don't always hear it, but when you do, you're like, oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Just a yawn.
Not to
It's
mention.
Paul, I think.
Yeah.
Of course.
Paul making fun of John. Very cute song. We have to keep it going.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying. I don't know. What am I supposed to say? I listen to this song in the car
Yeah.
every time almost.
Well, I know I'm gonna be listening to more Beatles music. I'm not aficionado like you guys, but
That's okay.
I appreciate and respect them. So
Yeah, we're only 3 tracks in, so.
no, like I find this very, very exciting.
Yep.
I'm learning a lot. Y'all are educating me on things I don't even know about. So
Maybe you should come back. Oh, you'll be out of town. Never mind.
I'll be here when I can.
Yeah. Right.
I'll be a
Do
guest
your-
whenever you want.
Do your own homework.
Yeah, that's my plan. I'm just gonna go and dive right in.
Yeah.
Well,
Thank you. Thank you so much.
I had to leave to go check on my kid for a second, so I look forward to hearing what 2 minutes without me sounds like.
We weren't
This
panicked at
didn't
all.
sound good at all. But we were talking about
Well,
the
don't.
yawn in the song.
Oh, yeah.
Very good. I like the yawn. It's a lot better than when the Rolling Stones did the snore.
Yeah. What song did they do the snore on?
The
In
Bill
Another
Wyman
Man.
song.
Oh.
Yeah, my favorite line is the "Please don't spoil my day,"
Yeah.
because that's nothing spoils a good lay in bed depression day than having to do something.
Literally,
That was yesterday.
yeah.
I laid in bed most of the day. Just like, I can't get out of bed. So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
All right. Up next, track 4, we got another George Harrison joint. It's Love You Too. All right, Love You Too.
Great song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really shows what a leap it was, you know. They had just put a sitar on Norwegian Wood,
Right.
Very.
and really
westernized.
just it sound like a guitar, like a twangier guitar.
Yeah.
This is full blown
Yeah.
Indian.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
the sound of it. I'd never heard that track before. That's the first time I heard it.
Yeah, this is a bit of a deep cut
Yeah.
If
a
you're
little
not-
bit.
if you're not real heads like us.
Yeah, I guess so.
Real heads.
Yeah, we don't know. We have no perspective on, like an outside perspective on the Beatles.
Yeah.
That's what we talk about a lot on here. Is that we
We've literally
We
been
don't know.
into the Beatles since like
were 5.
we've had memories.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And see, it was different for me. I was raised in a very strict Christian household, so the Beatles were
Bad.
You don't listen to the Beatles.
that's so weird.
Yeah. So when I moved out, that was a big thing. I mean, that was pretty much when I was truly introduced to the Beatles. Was like at 17.
Oh wow, that's weird.
It's crazy to think.
Yeah.
Very
I
strange.
didn't really grow up with this song either though,
Really?
because it would always, when it was the, you know, the introduction, the
I love the beginning.
Yeah.
I love that.
but I like, you know, as a little kid you're like,
Yeah.
what is this?
I
You know?
thought.
And then my dad one time was just like, well, that's the whole song is like that. So I was like, oh, okay. And so I'd always just skip it
Wow.
because I thought it was just like those notes over and over again. You know?
Oh, got you.
I remember being very perplexed by like the "screw me in the ground" lyric and like all that. I'd be like,
the
what?
lyrics are really
kid.
good on this.
But I
Like,
really listen to the song all the time.
yeah, and it's like you think about, you know, the last couple of George songs.
Yeah.
He really pulled it out on this album lyrically, especially. You know,
Yeah.
finding new topics and ways to write about them.
Scream with the ground sounds like a line you would use this day and age. Like
Yeah,
you
oh,
wouldn't
yeah.
even want. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That-
That's like,
Yeah.
you know, you gotta think like, it was music before, like, who said, like, a lifetime's so short, a new one can't be bought, or whatever.
Yeah.
That's pop music,
Right.
like the most popular
It is.
artist, and he's saying existential stuff like that. That's crazy.
Pushing boundaries.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, and the song itself, for real heads, I mean, it's not in my top 20, but it's
It's good.
definitely in my top 50.
Respectable. Yeah,
It's
it's
good.
very. I was very intrigued by it. I was not expecting that at
Yeah.
all. I
And
really
most people-
wasn't.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean,
You
like
did.
they're really branching out
Oh,
on
yeah.
this album.
Yeah.
really.
Branching
You
out.
came in on a good album.
Yeah,
I
you
did. I'm so happy.
Yeah, you did come in at a good time.
Yay me!
Yeah. I
All
don't
right.
think there were any duds on this.
I always
album.
learn so much when I hang out.
No,
with
I
you.
don't think so.
And the next song, let's get to it.
Yep. Next song, we're going back in a more sort of pop direction, but it's a Paul song, and Paul was the master of the popular love ballad.
Pop and Paul.
And we have maybe the most prime example. It's here, there, and everywhere. All right, here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah, one of my favorites.
That's just
ever.
a pretty song.
That's
It
probably
really
my
is.
favorite on this I take that back. But right now, it is my favorite on this.
My
favorite so far.
Yeah. I mean, it's just perfect.
I mean, that's
It's very sweet. Very.
yeah. I mean, that is what you want out of a love song.
Yeah.
You know? That's something you know. That's like a first dance at your wedding song or something.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
Definitely that.
Oh, that would be
romantic.
so cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's Paul McCartney is a master of that,
Yeah.
Pop and pop.
and he's showing it off here. He's writing the love song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, what I love. Okay, so one of my favorite things about this song recently is about Frank Ocean. You know, he took forever to release Blonde because he was having a major writer's block, and then he listened to this song, and he was like, and he wrote White Ferrari, and he sampled the song in this. He samples this song. Got permission from Mr. Paul himself. That's a big deal.
It's a good song.
And it's a great song, and it's a
I love Frank Ocean now.
oh I know
What is it called again?
White Ferrari.
White Ferrari. Oh my god.
And like, I think to me that album's like one of the best. Of course, not just to me. Like,
right.
it's obviously one of the best albums of
Last decade at least.
my lifetime.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, you know, this little simple song influenced that whole album. He felt it.
Yeah.
And I think what this song does well is that a lot of, I mean, it does have a bit of sappiness to it.
Yeah, but it's realistic.
Yeah, but a lot of sappy love songs are just corny
Yeah.
Right.
and ridiculous.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I like that it
This
talks about
this one very much. You
It's
know,
like saccharine,
is-
but like
grounded in reality.
In
And
Yeah.
it's like, you know, when you are in love with someone, you sit there
yeah.
and you're like, oh, this
Well,
is
yeah, exactly.
forever.
You know, he's saying, you know, I hope I'm always there,
Yeah.
running my hands through her hair, staring in her eyes. You know, things you might actually do. It's not
Right.
like I would move the heavens for you.
Yes,
Right,
I
it's
agree
like-
with that. Yeah.
The profoundness of like someone else is talking to you and I don't even care, you know.
Yeah.
which is a real. Everyone knows
That's
that's a
how
real
profound, how realistically profound.
To me, it just
love
sounds
is.
like his actual thoughts of the actual situation that happened. You know,
Oh, yeah.
with the love and the
thing. Right.
That's a pretty
Yeah.
song. I like that one.
Right.
Yeah. Really great song.
Song
Really
just
great.
gets me on my feet.
All right.
I'm gonna put it on my Spotify list real quick.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
Up
She
next,
did it. She
track
did it.
6. It's the Ringo track,
Oh yeah.
Not the Ringo.
and it is Yellow Submarine.
I love that one.
All right. Well, that's just
Classic.
whimsical fun.
Yeah.
Right there.
I kind of like that song
I
a
like
bit,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, no, that song,
Like,
that's a
if you
classic.
hate-
Exactly.
The
Classic.
Goblin Brian Jones is in this song.
That's
Did you
right.
know that?
He is.
Goblin Face.
Yes.
The Green Goblin's on
He's
this?
clinking a glass.
He clicks
Ah.
it back.
Yeah, a lot of Donovan was there.
Marianne Faithful
Yeah.
was in there.
I mean, it
It was,
has
it
an
was
atmosphere
happening.
of fun around it.
Yeah.
It's a
It's,
great song.
But I was like, how did they do the?
They explained it in the anthology. He was just literally in the other room.
Okay, I didn't remember.
I remember what John wanted to be hung upside down and spun around to sing that part.
What?
But they were like, no, I don't think so.
I was telling you once about the that guy. His name is Robert Richard Hieronymus, PhD,
Sure.
who's a cult symbologist, and he wrote a book about this cult symbolism and Yellow Submarine, the film mostly, but the song as well. And of course, hearing it reminded me of that or whatever.
It's this song is one of the where there's you don't think of something until someone describes it to you that way, and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
The first time that I read that Paul McCartney, when he was writing this, was like, I wanted to do a psychedelic children's song.
Yeah.
It's like, oh yeah, that's
Yeah, it is.
exactly what that is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think as much as the song is whatever it is, I find it really clever because it's like McDonald's, how they sell toys in order to get kids and return customers.
Or like how
I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever
vapes
worked
have like
at
cartoons on
McDonald's.
them.
Like, but when you go to McDonald's, you're like, okay, you do not mess up the kids' meals. They're like, because that kid is potentially a customer for life. Like, it's very
That's a crazy
important.
like
The chicken
point
nuggets
to make. Like I never thought about it like that.
They are like, these are very important because
Because beg the parents and I want to go back. Oh,
yeah, exactly. So it's like that. Yellow Submarine is like Happy Meal.
What's funny is how many
Beatles
people
Happy Meal, and like this is pre Happy Meal. Like
does
Happy
not
Meal didn't
come
exist
with
yet.
the Yellow Submarine though.
what I love is how many people I've read like in tweets and shit like that, like say like we had to hear this song in school when I was a kid, and now I hate the Beatles because that's what they think the Beatles is. It's just
That's so disheartening.
I
you
know.
know they suck. You know,
Right.
and clearly they have way more than this song.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in that book I read, the In Their Own Lives or whatever, In Their Lives, the writers writing about Beatles songs, their favorite Beatles song. And there was a writer writing about this song, and he was like, I lived in West Germany, and I was very into submarines. And he's like, but my grandfather would make me listen to the English radio because he's like, you need to know English because we need to get out of this country. We need to get out of communism, and you need to know English. So they would listen to and this song would come on all the time. And he was like, but it's about submarines. Or it was the writer's dad. This was the writer's dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he used the song as like the family calling.
Mm-hmm.
Like they whistled the song to find each other.
Yeah.
And he like the song helped him learn English. It got him out of the iron curtain.
Yes.
So, it's like it's such a silly song, but it's so big.
Right.
It means so much.
I'm sure there's many other stories like that.
Oh
too,
yeah.
You know?
I mean, they weren't the only people listening.
Right.
Exactly.
My ex's dad started to learn English with this song when he moved to America.
It's like, that
As a
drives me
kid.
crazy. People are like, Beatles aren't important. The Beatles are important. It's
Are
like,
you
how
kidding
many
me?
people learned English because of them? How many people moved to England, to America? How many people went to go make their lives better or escape or whatever? Because they were like, oh, well, I'll just go learn English now because I like the Beatles and go do things,
Yeah.
Yeah, would you guys say this is up to this point Ringo's best song?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he really.
Sorry what goes on, but
To this point, he gets better, but this is definitely his best work.
Yeah.
all right. Well, moving right along, we're coming up on track number 7. And again, see, I might have been too early. This may be my favorite one. It is She Said, She Said.
Ooh.
All right. She Said, She Said. I love that song.
Masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really love this.
I like the story about how when they were trying to play it and Paul was just like, I don't get it, and wouldn't play on it.
Yeah.
Because he had not taken LSD yet.
Yeah.
But they
He
all...
wasn't there for the incident either.
Yeah. Well, I think he was there. He just didn't take it.
What the song's about.
When Peter Fonda...
Wait, no, I think he was there, right? He was there.
Yeah, he was there. He just didn't take acid.
But he was just like irritated with the way John handled the situation because he didn't understand the drugs. And he was like, I'm not playing on this song about this, and I don't get it, and I don't like it. Leave me out of it. Because he was just like, this is stupid. I don't do that.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the party where
He was.
Peter Fonda came up to him
Yeah.
and said, I know what it's like to be dead.
Yes, I am talking about the part.
Oh. Okay.
And for my blurry recollection, he was like, he didn't like that whole situation.
Yeah.
He thought John overreacted.
Yeah.
And embarrassed him.
You gotta tell her what happened.
Yeah,
Tell her-
educate me.
Tell her what.
Yeah, the Beatles, while they were on tour in America, they rented a mansion in Beverly Hills, and they had this big party.
Mm-hmm.
And Ringo, John, and George took LSD, and Paul was scared too. He didn't take it. Mm-hmm. And actor Peter Fonda, he apparently had accidentally shot himself in the gut when he was a young boy.
Oh my
And
God.
so he's on acid too, and he keeps coming up to John Lennon being like, "Hey, I know what it's like to be dead." And, you know, John, obviously, that freaks him out, and he's like, "Get away from me, you weirdo." You know. And
Yeah.
Paul, who's not on acid, is like, "You didn't have to be so mean to him, John."
Just like that.
And then he just was like, "Why are you writing a song about this? I don't like it. I don't do
Yeah.
this. This is stupid.
Yeah.
This is weird."
So thankfully, John did
Feeling
write a song
weird.
about this. 'Cause,
Yeah.
Because it turned out great.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing to write a song about.
Something I love about this song is Ringo's drums.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, he keeps the beat, but also like he's playing them like another instrument. And
Yeah.
you know,
Mhm.
he's doing so much more than just keeping time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a. Yeah.
He's playing the song like he never has to play it live.
Right, exactly. Yeah,
He's like, I'll do whatever I want.
and
Because I'm
it's
never gonna
just
play it again.
it just makes it so unique.
It's
sounding.
very, I don't know, groovy, I think is the
Yeah.
word.
Groovy.
Swing it.
It'd be fun to
Swing it.
imagine, like, if John hadn't have died and he had gone on, like, some of the other people who didn't die in 1980 and done his solo tours and played some of his old songs. And if he had done this song in, like, a later tour on a big arena, if he had done something like Paul ended up doing,
Mm-hmm.
it would have gone off.
But I tell you, the Black Keys cover this song,
Oh, did they?
and I know that you guys aren't super big on the Black Keys. I like them.
They're
I like them
I
okay.
don't listen to that.
I mean, they're essentially just the White Stripes. So.
But worse.
Well, yeah, they're like a worse White Stripes, but they're still pretty
Oh.
good.
The Black Keys.
The Black Keys.
But yeah, they covered this in it because Patrick Carney he just plays the drums.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's just
Yeah. Missing.
yeah, it's not
Yeah.
it's not right.
Most Beatles covers aren't quite.
Yeah.
And I think this song, obviously there's not a lot of Paul influence on this song, so it's like your first little glimpse of like what is John like without Paul,
Yeah.
and it shows like what he's gonna be like for the rest of his career, really, because there's literally no Paul.
Yeah.
And for like one of the first few times, like
Yeah.
no Paul, like well maybe we should do it like this, it just Paul's like bye, I'm gonna go,
It's not my song.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
yeah, I'm gonna go out, leave me alone.
It's weird that something so petty. She's like, no, I'm not working on this. Like,
I don't know.
but you get through when you're that entrenched with people, it gets that small and personal.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like, they're like 23 or 24 years old.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they're petty. They're 23-year-old guys.
The worst.
The worst.
Alrighty. So let's keep the line moving. We're starting side 2 of the record, and it's gonna be "Good Day, Sunshine." Okay, I think that it's actually really interesting. Like you're saying, there's no Paul influence on "She Said," and it just kind of shows you what a different place John and Paul were both in.
Right.
These are two very, very different songs.
This one's about marijuana, and the other one's about LSD. So it just shows they're different.
They just
At
like
this
different drugs.
At this point in time, they're not on the same page.
Yeah.
They're using different drugs,
Yeah.
which is very important.
Yeah. It was also like, my mind's being split open by not simple sentences, but and he's like, I love the way my feet feel when they're warm.
Or is this the one?
It burns
No,
my feet
that's
as they touch
other
the
one
ground.
that's about marijuana. But this is like, he's still like, what did he call this? Like his attempt at
The
like
Lovin' Spoonful.
yeah.
And I can hear that.
Yeah.
But I
We
like
were
I like
also-
this song a whole lot more when I was little.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really.
I think I was a sucker for songs about sunshine though.
I mean, when you're little, you really love sunshine.
Yeah. This is definitely one that a kid could
Yeah.
get down to.
Right.
But,
still
I
like
mean,
it, but it's,
Yeah, no, it's a really good song.
yeah.
It's just very different from the one
Right.
that came before it.
Right, but I'm definitely more in a she said place in my life,
Yeah.
So I prefer that
One day
now.
when I'm old, I'll get back to a good day sunshine point.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe when I'm done working. I'm retired. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
the
Who knows?
sun is shining. Well, I do like sunshine, but like not like that. Not like this song.
All right.
No, you
Well,
don't. You told me you hate the sun the other day. But I like sunshine. Okay. There's a difference.
we're gonna move along, and you know what? This actually might be my favorite.
Oh my
You
gosh.
keep
you
changing
this is
it.
the
Yeah,
third time
I
you said
really like a lot of songs on this
this is
album.
his favorite.
We love all the John songs.
All right, up next at number 2, it's And Your Bird Can Sing. Yeah, I mean that's a good
That's a
song.
fun song.
Yeah.
I love that one on Rock Band.
Yeah, that's fun.
Actually, I like the one on Anthology too, where they're laughing through
Oh
the whole
yeah,
thing.
that's a good one.
But I wish there was a version of that without the
Yeah.
laugh, because it's similar, but it's got sort of a different arrangement, and I really like it.
Yeah.
And
like
I wish
him.
there was a full version, like a full take of it like that.
Right.
Too
But the
bad.
one with them laughing is pretty funny.
Right.
They're
yeah.
they're having a laugh in the studio.
Right.
Yay.
Yeah, I like it. I love this song. I don't know. It's always been one of my most favorites.
Yeah.
This is one every
But,
time
like, you guys' favorite color is green.
Yeah.
So like you guys would really like this.
it's a very green sounding song.
Yeah. So, sometimes it's just that simple.
Seems like though every time I really like a John penned song like this, I'll always see, and he said this about most of his songs, but it seems like he really hated
Yeah.
Himself.
all the ones that I really like.
Yeah. Which ones did he like?
I'm not
he
sure.
was just kind of really self-critical.
He was
so
he
it's
was
like,
he was critical of
he
himself.
like changed his mind all the time. So he'd be like, "Well, that one sucked," and like 2 years later, he'd be like, "It wasn't that bad. It's not that bad. Not very good."
Yeah.
So he was a mess. You can't really take his word for anything, even about himself.
Yeah, Libra.
Yeah.
Really? Speak of my language.
Yes.
I'm a Libra, FY. I'm like, that sounds like me. Can't make decisions and always self-critical.
Yeah.
That's
Because there's some days I'm like that. I'm like, I'm bombed today, and then
Yeah.
Very
But
much a Libra.
And the guitar on this one is also
Mm-hmm.
probably some of their, like up to this point, probably some of the most intricate.
Yeah.
you
Original,
know,
really.
Yeah,
They're doing that
heavy
like,
too.
early guitar weaving type
Yeah.
of deal
Mhm.
that the Stones did, but they're doing it a lot better.
Wait, this is not really weaving. Well, I guess it is.
Man,
Is,
The Stones thoroughly weave.
Okay, they did. Okay, the Stones, that's their thing. They weaved, but the Beatles are like, let's try some of that, and it went well.
But it's I can't think of his name. I feel dumb, but I can't think of it. But he was in the Eagles, and he sings that song, "Life's Been Good to Me." Joe Walsh.
Yeah.
Joe Walsh. Yeah, he was like, he met George Harrison or one of them and was like, "Hey, this was like one of the early songs I learned how to play when I picked up guitar." And then George was like, "That is supposed to be played by 2 guitars simultaneously doing different things. How do you do it all at once?"
He's like, I'm talented.
Well,
I mean,
I
you gotta
didn't know
say
that,
anything
so
about.
I learned how to do it.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, I wish I could do it. I can't even play the one guitar part.
I
can't
can play it on Rock
I was
Band.
about to say, I'm Rock Band.
Which is weird because, like, on Rock Band, there's only one guitar part.
Yeah.
But some of these songs need 2 guitar players. They had 2 guitarists, so it's like, why can't we just both play guitar?
Sorry.
Whatever.
All right. Well, keep going. And up next, we've got another Paul track. Of course, we're talking about For No One. So I was saying while the song was on, this sounds like Paul and the girl from Here, There, and Everywhere. They broke up. And she's cool with it. Him,
Well, they didn't break up.
not so much.
They haven't broken up yet.
You don't think so?
It's over, but they haven't.
Accepted.
They're not.
Does
They're
it?
still a couple.
Oh. Because I thought the whole "you stay home, she goes out." She says that long before she knew someone, but now he's gone. She doesn't need him.
He's still there, but the guy that she liked is gone.
I was in like that. He's just lost himself.
Right.
Changed.
Okay.
Like they are drifting apart.
Right,
That's
yeah.
my interpretation of it. Is that they're still together, but they're, and
Yeah.
he doesn't see it. You know, or he doesn't
He doesn't
want
want
to
to,
want to see it.
Hmm.
So he's like, yeah, everything's what you know. Oh,
There's something wrong.
See, I always sort of pictured it. Well, actually, I guess that's perfect. Though. You ever watch Better Call Saul?
no.
No.
They just do one episode where the same thing happens. Saul and his girlfriend Kim are like drifting apart, and it does like a split screen of them, and they're both like together, but just doing their own thing, and it, you know, she takes her time and doesn't feel she have to hurt, you know, like,
Right.
you know, they emphasized in earlier episodes how they would like brush their teeth together in the morning and stuff, and now just she brushes her
Living
teeth
separate
whenever.
lives together.
Yeah.
No.
So,
It's
yeah.
like that Simon and Garfunkel song,
Overs, yeah.
Overs. You know, it's like the same.
It's like it happens all the time.
Yeah, I mean, it happens all the time. You know, where, you know,
Does
Tell us
happen
all
all
the
the time. It is. Well, this is a theme that keeps popping up on this show, is how
Timeless?
how we're people, especially young people like the Beatles were at this time, are still dealing with the same crap.
Yeah.
You know,
I
we
would
think
say-
everything's really different, you know, because we have the internet and whatnot, but it's all essentially the same.
Generic human emotions.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Generic. Generic.
They are
You know,
generic.
You know what I'm
Just-
saying?
just
Like, we all have
standard,
happiness,
yeah.
sad.
Yeah. I mean, but I will say, I'm pretty sure this is my favorite song on the album.
Oh, well.
Interesting.
Whoa. But
Very, very interesting.
Of course.
it just is lyrically poignant, well written, makes me sad even though I don't deal with this. So, you know, I can perfectly understand what
Yeah.
this character or the person in the song is feeling and what it looks like, and
Yeah.
you know that.
Yeah, I think anyone can relate to how destitute the emotions of this song are. Just like dull, gnawing emptiness or
Right,
whatever.
right.
So,
Oh, yeah.
It's one of their most I mean, as far as like stories go and songs, for Paul at least, I think this is one of his best. Plus, French horn. Okay, it went
Yeah.
off.
I love the way the French horn little solo comes back
Yeah.
on the last
yeah.
bit of the song. I love that.
That's really good.
Oh,
And
boy.
the piano part,
Oh
really
boy,
good.
yeah.
Oh boy,
Oh,
that's so
boy.
good. It's so good. Yeah, it's
That's the good
and I think, you know, for a guy who just put out Good Day Sunshine, it's
He has range.
he's got range and he's showing it
He's
off.
got range for days.
He's showing
I mean,
off.
yeah, I mean, all of Paul's songs on this album are very,
different.
very eclectic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very different from Eleanor Rigby.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah.
John's
Or
songs
Yellow
are the ones
Submarine.
kind of holding the feel of the album together because everyone
Yeah.
else is kind of
Yeah, all of,
different
well,
places.
see,
Mm-hmm.
I've always thought that she said, and You Bird Can Sing, and the next song
Yeah.
on the album. They're just sort of this, like, little psychedelic trilogy,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
And they're really where the album's sort of psychedelic LSD sort of vibe
Besides
comes
the-
from.
Yeah, I guess so. What's the
Which-
next one?
All right. Well, yeah, let's
On to the next.
let's go on to that next song. It is Dr. Robert. Okay. You see what I'm saying though about how She Said and
Yeah.
Andrew Birkin singing that all sort of have a, I mean, they don't sound the same,
No.
but they have the same vibe.
Yeah.
It's the guitar.
The guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is my favorite part about
Gritty.
it, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
sort of. Yeah, a bit dirty,
The
but
edgy
also
songs.
clean,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a funny song about a drug dealer. I mean,
The doctor.
yeah, exactly. I mean, back then you could only get LSD from a dentist, really.
I thought it was
Someone who
funny.
knew someone.
I didn't know
Or you knew someone who knew a dentist. Or you knew a dentist
They knew somebody.
who knew somebody.
I thought it was funny in Anthology, they're talking about when Dr. Robert gave them acid. He gave John and George and their wives acid for the first time. And he was trying to tell them, like, no, don't leave, which does sound creepy.
Yeah.
He's like, no, don't leave my house. And John's like, yeah, I thought he was trying to have an orgy with us. I didn't know British people pronounced it that way.
Orgy, I didn't think so.
It's like corgi.
Oh, no.
An orgy with the Queen's corgi. Prince Andrew gets up to that. Nah, he just molests children.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, we don't like that.
But yeah, I mean, to me, this is the dud of the album. But
Really?
But that's not even like. It's
I
not that
do-
it's bad.
no,
It's
it's just of all of them, this is the dud.
Of
Okay.
the three that, you know,
okay. On
it's
Riverside,
the
there were,
weakest
like,
one.
3 duds, and now there's only like 1 so far.
Getting better.
And even, you know,
It's not bad.
I don't
I
necessarily.
don't click
I
on
can
songs.
see what you're saying about that being the dud, but even
It
so,
doesn't make my playlist.
that's a pretty
I don't
good
listen to
dud.
it.
It's a good dud.
Yeah.
But it's not.
This is the Run for
On my
Your Life
rotation.
of the album, but better. The what?
But better.
The Run for Your Life.
What's been the worst dud so far? What's When I
Lizzie,
Get
Miss
Home,
Lizzie.
probably.
But not covers. Let's songs they wrote.
Okay.
Then it's definitely When I Get Home.
Yeah, I don't even remember that one.
I
Yeah.
can't tell you how that one goes.
Okay.
And point for
Is that the one where we were like,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Hard
that
Day's
was-
Night.
That was awful. I've never been that upset.
All right. So up next is, and this is a first for a Beatles album. 3 George. Well, no, he has 3 on with the Beatles, but he wrote all 3 of these.
Yes. 3 George written songs.
Yeah. 3 George Harrison originals, and it is I Want to Tell You. I think that song really goes to show how much George is progressing in his songwriting.
Yeah, I
Because
agree.
of the 3 on this album, the 3 George songs, that's the one I like the least.
Yeah.
And I really like that song.
Right.
No, this is the one I like the most.
You like
This
this
is
more
one
than
of my-
Taxman?
Oh yeah, this
Yeah.
is one of my favorite Beatles songs ever.
It's a good one. It's
I
got
relate
that
to
great
this song.
riff.
piano?
Heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, I relate to this song deeply.
Yeah.
Anytime I like anybody, this is the song that I understand. I'm like,
Aww.
Just like
I
don't
just like send a
don't know
like,
how to act, you know? And it's
My
Yeah.
Scorpio
You know.
moon understands this song heavily. My Scorpio moon and George's Scorpio moon meet.
There it is.
We
Oh my
meet on this
God.
song, and
yeah,
this is
100%.
This is a Scorpio placement anthem. We're like,
Good luck figuring
I
it
don't
out.
I do think it's funny though, because I read some interview with George, and you know that line, "If I seem to act unkind, it's only me, it's not my mind." He was like, "Yeah, that I should have reversed that.
Yeah.
It's not me. It's just
Yeah. I think about that. I'm like, what?
It's like that kind of doesn't make sense."
It,
But
that's just to show how bad he's
yeah,
expressing these things.
exactly.
How clumsy it is for him.
exactly. I love the line where he says,
100%.
"I wish that I knew you well."
Yeah.
So I could speak my mind and tell you or whatever. I don't know. I just really like
I like
that
that line.
because
yeah.
he's like, it's like
But
I want to get to know you, but I don't know how.
Yeah.
And I like you, and I can't. You know, it's like
Again,
Right.
who can't relate to that?
it's
Some people can.
super.
Well,
relatable.
We don't know those people. I'm just kidding.
I mean,
I think though, even though, like everyone I've ever known who just dated all the time, didn't have any sort of problems with it, there would be one person where they're just like,
That's
you know.
true. That's true.
Yeah.
Everyone has that.
It happens to everybody,
Yeah.
right.
you know, at least once.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. I love this song. I think it's definitely my top 3 favorite George songs.
Yeah.
It's not number one, but
Not mine, but I like this song.
it's so good. I love the song.
What was on Rubber Soul, the George song about liking someone?
If I Needed Someone.
Yeah, they're kind of like siblings. Those songs.
This is the meaner version of that song. Like, I mean, I also like that the line about if I seem to act unkind, because it's like, sometimes liking someone isn't always nice. Sometimes you don't handle it
The right way.
the right way.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's like you're like mad that your feelings. Yeah, I'm not.
You're frustrated that you can't communicate it.
You're like, I don't even want this right now, but here I am feeling it, and it's making me mad, and I'm gonna take it out on you. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. It's not me.
Great
good,
song.
Very clever.
Great song. Very
I
relatable.
love that song.
All right, we're getting into the home stretch here. We're about to listen to the penultimate track, and it is "Got to Get You Into My Life." Okay, well, that I think most people know. I think most people know that that song is about marijuana usage.
the one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's it's sly
Yeah.
because it also sounds like
It sounds exactly
meet,
like
meeting a young lady that you want to
Right.
spend more time with.
Kind of
Which-
sad that he's that in love with marijuana.
That is.
But sometimes it
I
be just
understand
good.
it.
It feels
I
like
get
it.
it. Yeah, I get it. I mean,
It does though. When you're young, like when you first
start.
do it, it is
You're
like this is so cool.
I want to be like this forever.
Like I'm thinking thoughts I never thunk ever. I love.
Yeah. Oh man,
I miss that. Now it's
Yeah.
like blase. I can function normally.
Yeah.
I mean, not that it's.
I don't even know. I guess maybe
Yeah.
it was in the Beatles anthology book where I first, read that. That's what it was about. I was afraid that I wasn't going to be allowed to listen to it anymore.
Like anyone new.
But it's not like blatantly obvious.
No,
you know.
right.
If he didn't say, then you
Right.
wouldn't really.
No.
Right.
And I mean, obviously, it's
This
another
This song's
Motown.
the reason I smoked weed.
This is the one that got me.
Well, way to go, Paul.
But
Well, next time I smoke, I'm gonna listen to the song.
yeah, dude.
You get like a new perspective.
Yeah.
I did like this song a lot.
Yeah.
He did play
I
it
like
at
the
the
words.
White House.
He
Hilarious.
played it at when I saw him,
Oh,
Aw.
and he has a great horn section, so it was fun.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm so happy y'all got to do that.
Me too.
That's such an experience.
I'm
But-
surprised I didn't cry. I cried on the way there. I didn't cry.
I cried the
Aw.
next day.
You're like, it's over.
Cried the whole next day.
I
just
cried
like-
so hard I had a panic attack in the parking garage. It's,
Oh, yeah.
I'm
On the
just
way
yelling.
there. We were like, but yeah, he played that song live, which is funny because like, when you go to concerts or whatever, and especially if it's something big like that, I don't have like it's all like a blur. But like when I hear the songs, I'm like, oh yeah, he did this
I
one.
totally forgot he did this song. I don't remember most of it.
Yeah, it's like a blur, but when I hear the songs, I remember.
This
think,
song's good.
My favorite part is that towards the end when it does that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Also,
Who did
Is-
the cover of this? Earth, Wind, and Fire?
oh God, I don't know.
I think they did. It's
It
really
sounds
good.
accurate.
Probably a few people have.
They got like
It's a Beatles song.
a major.
This
It
is
was a
one of
major hit
those
for them.
ones that they play on KCK.
Yeah.
And yeah, everyone at work, like we listened to KCK when I worked in the call center, and they would play this song, and everyone would be like, Stephanie, it's the Beatles, and I'd be like, yeah, it is. It's Paul. So I love that song.
All right, well, let's bring it home.
Bring it on.
We are to the final track.
Dun, dun, dun.
I bet that's
And if you've never heard it before, well, buckle up.
oh yeah,
All right, because it's time for Tomorrow Never Knows. We take a song like that for granted
we
now.
really do.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You have to think for like a teenager in 1966, that had to
Yeah.
have blown their minds.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, you think like the way they produced that track was unimaginable at the time, and they really like pushed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the way we listen to music is probably solely based on things they came up with in that song, just for that song. You
Yeah,
know?
I mean, it's like what the techniques they were using was like extremely underground stuff.
Mhm.
You know,
Loops.
barely anyone was listening to electronic music like that or anything,
Mm-mm.
or loop music or anything.
Like,
It's very-
Loops are the basis of our music.
Yeah,
and
no,
like
it
for a band that popular to have loops in their like just tape loops
yeah.
over and over and over, and that's literally like all music is now. It's just like press the button and loop it, you know.
Yeah.
Crazy, and like taking like a sample of like Paul laughing and like playing with it to the point where it's music.
Seagulls.
Yeah.
That's literally what we do. That's like any album you listen, any song you listen to that's come out, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Like all,
Yeah.
you can hear that song in most.
So I feel like that's where a lot of the discussion of that song goes, but it sort of gets left out what a good song it is.
Yeah.
Like it sounds really good.
Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Not only that, you can close your eyes and you hear so many different.
Yeah.
Your mind goes
Yeah.
everywhere in
Yeah.
the song, but at the same
Mhm.
time, it's together.
When I
Does that make
was
sense?
like
Yeah.
little, I was a very emotional, angsty child. Like I was like 6 and 7. I had horrible mood swings, and I would go in my room in the dark, and I would climb up my bunk bed and just turn this song on, and just listen to it, and be okay. Yeah, I did that for years. Like this song. It's the reason I took LSD.
They're the
Thanks,
reason.
Beatles.
That's the reason I'm like this. But it was funny though. I did listen to this on LSD. I don't remember it. It was good though. I remember that.
It was fellow Wild Blue cast member or whatever,
Yeah.
fellow Wild Blueian who is yet to get in on one of these episodes. Henderson, when we first moved out when we were 18, we had an apartment together, and so that was the first time that he had been able to try pot.
Yeah.
And so he smoked it, and he's like sitting there, he's like, whoa, I feel really high. And I was like, oh, hang on, man. I got a song you should listen to. And I played him this, and he just sat there with his eyes shut till it was over, and he was like, that was the Beatles?
Right.
It's like, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
It's funny because like they did like this really good song for like that, like being high like that, in one song, and then it's like a huge foreshadowing of the next album. Like, what if we did it for like a bunch of songs?
Yeah.
And if you have to just listen to it all at once, the whole album,
Right. A whole trip.
you're gonna have a great time.
Right.
Yeah.
We're gonna give you lots, and I mean, I don't think this song is like when John wrote this, it wasn't intended to be this. That's more of like Paul's little
Yeah,
playing with it, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which shows.
I mean, they'd all gotten sort of interested in but Paul was really the one who was into like tape loops.
Yeah.
You're right.
Because I like that story about when he had been messing around with that, and he made some, experimental avant-garde sort of sound collage, and he brought it somewhere, and he was like, hey, everybody check out this thing I did,
Yeah.
and Bob Dylan just left the room
Yeah.
after like a couple minutes.
He's like, no thanks. But yeah,
But then also, wasn't this the song where
Bob
when he
Dylan-
heard it, Bob Dylan was like, oh, I get it. You
don't wanna
guys
be
don't want to
cute.
be cute anymore.
Yeah. It was like around Bob's birthday. He was in London, and Paul showed up like, look what I got, and
Happy
and
birthday.
Bob was like, I got visions of Joanna. He's like, I got this. So
Who won?
who won that
I
duel?
don't know.
I think
don't know.
tomorrow better know. Tomorrow never knows is slightly edges out.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
That's
I don't
just
know.
your opinion.
Visions of
Yeah.
Johanna is a really, really good song.
Yeah, it is. It
It's
really
hard.
is.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, and honestly, I know it's like just John doing the Tibetan Book of the Dead as lyrics, but even then, like they could get away with that back then. You know, they weren't going to get sued. So it's really interesting. You know that
But it's nice because you know a 6-year-old can
a
hear things
6-year-old
like that.
can
and
who
absorb
went
it,
for
you know.
Yellow Submarine gets that at the end,
Right.
Yeah.
and all this new information.
So I'm interested, as sort of coming at it fresh, Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
What was your favorite track?
I really liked what was it? Got to Get You Into My Life.
Oh,
That one was that was
It's a
my
good
favorite
one.
out of all of them.
Okay.
What about
I really like that one.
what do we think the best track was here?
Me?
Probably I mean, Got to Get You Into My Life. I mean, there's really not.
There
You
aren't
can't
any
go
bad
wrong.
There's not any bad ones. I mean, they're all good, but that one was stuck out to me.
Everyone just pick your favorite. What's your favorite?
See, it's between I'm Only Sleeping and She Said, She Said. It's one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Or Andrew Bird Can Sing.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
Those three are my favorites too. I mean,
Yeah.
that's my favorite songs of all time.
That's so weird because like I like those songs. They don't speak to me like that.
No.
What that's like funny how people can be different,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
but
But yeah, there's no wrong way to go with
I'm
this
gonna
one.
pick I'm Only Sleeping as my favorite because
Well, then I'll do She Said, She Said.
no, I'll do what she said. She said.
No, then I'll do I'm Only Sleeping.
Okay.
Y'all are too much. Too much.
okay.
And what
For no one, duh.
no one.
yeah.
Oh, yeah. You said.
She said, duh.
It's
Well, that, and I mean, it's just from top to bottom, just
Yeah.
great, you know, like here, there, and
oh,
everywhere.
that's so good.
Can't beat
I
that.
mean, even Yellow Submarine, and it's so diverse.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't really go wrong with
Right.
Revolver at all.
Now, this is like something I've said before on here, but like any one of these songs would have been another band's biggest hit that
Yeah.
they were most known
definitely
for.
on this album too, because
Yeah.
you know some of their
This is the cream of the crop for the Beatles.
they're getting really good. How dare they? And it's funny because we will probably at some point cover other artists and do their whole discographies.
Mhm.
But will we ever do a discography where every album is just so much better than the last one
I don't
until
think
the
so.
end? Because I don't think it's ever happened.
I don't
No,
think
I was
so.
gonna say Led Zeppelin, but no.
Nope, it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Then again, people can argue that like Let It Be isn't that great, but it is.
It's so. No.
I'm
just kidding.
I think Revolver is better than Let It Be.
I mean, I
Definitely.
agree.
I was just making.
But like Let It Be is like if that's their bad album,
Mhm.
that's a really good album.
But
But
Let It Be is for another day.
yeah, that's true.
So we're going to let this episode be,
Over.
and we'll sign off. Jeremy, keep your nose clean, bud. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.